Nigerian economy is obviously one of the fastest growing, not just on the African continent, but globally. In fact, it has been earmarked as one of the 20 biggest economies come 2020. However, one of the factors that would drive that process is small and medium-scale enterprises, SMEs. One question being asked is, what will be the role of information and communications technology in this whole process? The contribution of small and medium-scale enterprises has been recognized as the main sustenance of the economy because of its capacity in enhancing the economic output and human welfare in the country. The role of SMEs in the overall economy cannot be overemphasized, owing to its contribution to creating more jobs and development of the social economy for the local community. SMEs development not only brings changes in developed countries, as is being witnessed in the UK and US, but it also brings changes to developing countries such as Nigeria and other countries in Asia, South America, and the Middle East. SMEs are at the heart of efforts to address key socio-economic challenges such as poverty and unemployment. In Nigeria, the SME sector is one of the largest employment-generating sectors, particularly among the country's poor. Therefore, SMEs are not only a strong engine of economic growth and productivity, but also a means of empowerment and distributing wealth. In many emerging markets, SMEs are seen as the most attractive components of the economy. Nigeria is the fastest growing telecommunications market or country in Africa with 43.98 million internet users. This represents 29.5% of the entire Nigerian population. With the expansion of telecommunication companies and cheaper services offered by internet service providers, this number is expected to increase. The adoption of ICT is crucial to SMEs as ICT has become a major catalyst and enabler of organizational change. SMEs in Nigeria, however, have not been able to effectively take advantage of these potential markets because of the digital divide that exists in Nigeria, being a developing nation. The convergence between information communications technology and small and medium-scale enterprises is critical. So how are businesses, especially in the SME category, connecting and making the best of technology?
A few years ago, it was like an almost impossible task to convince a business owner or some institutions to migrate from the conventional way of doing things into a much more faster and error-free way of getting things done. It was a difficult challenge, but as time goes on, the awareness keeps on growing because the awareness is a global thing. The awareness is a global thing. The more people are getting aware of such solution, the more they began to embrace it. So unlike a few years ago, now yes, most companies are really putting interest to migrate from the conventional way to the use of ICT to get things done.
This man has a broad clientele base for which he develops systems and has seen ICT transform businesses across sectors. He's persuaded that automating businesses is one sure way to drive development in the SME sector. He shares a part of his experience with me.
For clients, it's an amazing experience for me because people pay a lot for some of the things that we do. We connected one of the institutions in Benin here to Lincoln University in the US. For me, I think that people are waking up to what it means to automate. We have done automation for a bank, so for their fire alarm. So instead of sprinkling water, to sprinkle gas. So the water and the fire does the same damage. So to the things in the office. So right now we can also do automation for the agricultural sector. Many people are waking up to. We just did for a fish farm. So they now automate their fish ponds. So it can automatically change the water, replace the water, pump water to the stuff and all that. So before now, they have stunt growth. They didn't think that it was time to start to use all that, and many people are not aware.
To make a mark, SMEs have to do more than just have an online presence. It's no longer enough to just have a mobile phone, a website, or an email. These tools have to enable the small businessman to connect with the customer in a savvy and cost-effective manner to the business. While some SME owners still prefer the traditional methods of doing business, such as face-to-face interaction, there is no doubt that information and communications technology solutions are enhancing customer centricity and growth of business.
97% of businesses in Nigeria are SMEs.
Yeah.
And they employ at least not more than 100 persons. So if we have to look at the acceptance, I'll tell you yes, because dating back November 2013, I connected 371 branches of a bank together. And for me, that was huge. It's a big deal because before now, this is a community bank or microfinance bank that wasn't connected. So they're beginning to accept the fact that they can't do much. Today, Alibaba has sold, before midday today, has sold over $8 billion today for singles day. They couldn't do that with individuals. So people are beginning to realize that we can't do much if we have to do them manually. So they started to accept what we are doing. And not just that, like acceptance level, I will not just call it only the automation. Like majority of the small and medium scale enterprises now have websites. Before 2000s, they didn't care about it. They feel that if you have to buy, you have to walk into their shops. But right now, see what has happened. I'll make a reference to Jumia. Jumia raised over $56 million within the first 1 year, as investment capital into Jumia. And so most Nigerians saw that within 1 year, venture capitalists paid Jumia to buy 25% of the company, as much as $56 million. Wow. So if I'm IT compliant, if I'm IT driven, we can see what Uber is doing today. So I think that people are beginning to now understand that they are losing, they should pay themselves when they are not IT compliant.
The digital divide is the gap between ICT haves and ICT have-nots, a tool to take advantage of information and knowledge. In all this, one cannot but also take a look at government contribution to the sector. This, many believe, should be in terms of policy framework, huge investment in infrastructure and capacity development. Steve has been at the National Technology Incubation Center, Nigeria's central agency supporting small business development, for 4 years. He believes this is an initiative that has further pushed the frontiers of business development.
We have got the NOTAB, National Office of Technology Acquisition and Promotion. We've also got the NITDA, Nigerian Information Technology Development Agency. And I think they're doing a good job, I met Dr. Bindri, the former director, the immediate past Director General of NOTAB. I've also met that of the NITDA, and they are passionate about growing and developing SMEs in Nigeria. Just about a week ago, I was called that NITDA wants to set up 25 offices nationwide where small and medium enterprises can do their stuff. Those that don't have access to ICT can have access, and they are setting up 2 in Benin. So that's an amazing job. There are about 25 technology incubation centers in Nigeria. So you can, if you have a good technology, you can get an office. I'm being incubated for 4 years, and this is about the 3rd year. So I think government is doing a lot, and plus that, government also have some funds, some like the Presidential Standing Committee on Innovation. That's a prize on innovation, and I've had a few of my friends on it too, and it's huge. I think it's about 22 million or thereabouts. Grants? Yes, and they are grants. So like the UWIN too, government also have a program called UWIN, Youth with Innovation in Nigeria. That's another brilliant idea. Over 6,000 people will be giving close to 10 million to, and their grant. This is a grant given to them to do their businesses, to promote their technology and whatever they are doing. So I think that government is doing a good job already with the things that they are doing, even if it could be better. But what I now think is that people have to wake up, to the responsibility by being better and doing something.
As the small and medium-scale enterprises sector of the Nigerian economy evolves, it has been abundantly established that information communications technology will contribute immensely to this evolution.
There's a new technology, NFC technology, near-field communication technology. Is a system whereby you don't even, especially since we are talking about cashless system, is even going to take over the use of ATM machines. But because those NFC are like tags that will be attached to cell phones and smartphones, that you can easily walk to a shop with the use of they call it like tap and go. So if your bill is 10,000, you just tap and it deducts that amount from your account without trying to put any pin or trying to punch same. in anywhere, it can be implemented in anywhere. So that's where I see where technology will take us to.
Technology is going to play a key role. I'll make reference to what Kofi Annan said with the Millennium Development Goals. If the Millennium Development Goal is going to be achieved by 2015, that ICT, information technology, must, it plays a very big role, and it must be figured in prominently. And you see, China maximized that and see where they are today. I just mentioned Alibaba now. Xiaomi, for example, Xiaomi is a new phone in China. They have 48% of the market share, even if they just started like 3 years ago, beating Samsung and every other phone manufacturer within China. So what I'm trying to say is that I see that if we embrace technology, we will do much more. See what the cashless has brought us today. Now I can do as much as I want to do right on my system or on my mobile phone. So if we have to picture the next 20, 15 years, I think it will be amazing.
Knowing that information communications technology plays a very critical role in an emerging economy like we have in Nigeria means that small and medium-scale enterprises will have to take advantage of the potentials in this sector. And of course, the Nigerian government, which has already started putting in place policies to ensure that SMEs and ICT find a convergence point, will continue to sustain the pace and improve on it over time.